Hey everyone, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, the Great Western Railway. We're on one of our grain trains that operates in the far south of the map, and this is where we're going to be focusing our time. This time, we're going to expand these train networks around here, and particularly give this farm some love. So we'll let this pull into the station. I love how this area turned out. The rock walls, the church over here definitely looks fantastic, and particularly I like these buildings that we plop down. If we jump out, I'm not sure we're going to see one, but because these buildings are proper destinations that we've put down, you can see how I've actually renamed it to Catherine Farm Stables. You can see that people actually work there. So this Poppy Moore actually has come from the village, walked over, and then is working in here. So yeah, it gives the place a little bit more. So this is the residential. Yeah, it gives the. Oh, it came from way over here. Wow, that person came from a long way away. So they would have taken the road. And yeah, wow, that's huge. Anyway, so what we're going to do is forge off into the west, and so Montguthrie is the end of the line, and if we find something to highlight, you can see that there's a track that goes this way, and the plan is to forge off all the way over to Swinton, way over there. And so yeah, the tracks are going to go kind of like that way. We have two sets here. We've got the passenger on the right and the cargo on the left. So I think the easiest thing to do is just work out where they are starting. I think something in that direction makes sense. We do need to go via this Hallion place. There is an industry here that actually is wheat based. I don't know whether we want to put the wheat on a train that goes back into town and then through here, because that's going to kind of dictate where this rail goes, or whether we just go straight across. So risky options are like an L shape to and fro, or just direct. We'll work that out along the way. But what I do know is I do want to come through here and leverage these trees. Going this way into Swinton, I think we can probably turn this off. I think I want to come probably like an S-band, like a bootleg or whatever they call it, cross here and keep away from all of these farms, and we'll keep them pristine. Stay on the outside, and then yeah, it'd be kind of cool to hook through here and have a bit of a experience near the water. I'm not sure what that will be. And then out the other side, and then once we get to here, what's the topology look like? So if we're at roughly this house height, we probably can go through there. So some of these guys might lose their house. Still stay flat. Maybe through here, and after that we can work it out. I think probably along this road edge. One of these fields, or most of these fields, will be affected. And then we can have a little spur line for that industry, and maybe even hook down south. All right, so with that in mind, there's going to be a track through here. So let's aim for the left-hand side of this. Well, yeah, as we're looking at now, left-hand side. So yeah, let's get started. Let's just run the inner one, which is like the cargo. So this cargo train will, in the future, go past and go all the way over there and come back. So yeah, let's get a track on here. We need to get down to 2 tracks. What happens if we do flat? Okay, that's flat. Let's go kind of a little bit more to the right. I'm not too worried about these roads. We can definitely fix them. This is more important to get kind of straight. Especially considering we're going to have to join this track in as well. So let's go something like that and give it a friend. That's the wrong track. We need to change it to this stuff. Do a quick upgrade. And yeah, so let's get a little bit further, and then I'm actually going to delete these roads, I think, for a sec, just so we get a nice, beautiful, clean line, and we'll stay level. Let's see what happens. How far can we get if we stay level? Okay, cheeky little tunnel. Let's go. Is that a big hill? Okay, there's a hill there. I mean, I could bring up the topology thing. That's the waterways. The topology thing, yeah, you can see some lines as it gets higher and higher, but you don't really need to. The easier way of just is just drag it across and you can see how deep the tunnel gets. Let's go somewhere like that. So have I gone left to go right? I have. So let's wind this back a bit. And we'll do that again. And we'll come through straight. Yeah, these big runs actually can be quite fast as far as how long it takes you to develop them. I think we are going to end up with a swan neck here. Yeah, I think it's going to go left to go right. Come on, you can do it. We can do it way out here. You can cross. Yeah, that should be okay. And then you are going to join where your friend is, which is up there. Make sure those two are dead in alignment. And we can do the signal straight away. This is going to be back here somewhere inbound. And then we're going to have waypoints that say both of them are high speed-ish. No, they're both going... Yeah, this one can be high speed on the left. You're not crossing anything, but the one on the right, I'm going to give it just a single one that kind of suggests lower speed. And let's get a beautiful stand on that and go on. And make sure we've got the right age. And done. That's looking pretty perfect. And then quick finish off. And we'll do the same X design roughly around here with the same speed roughly. Done. And for now, we'll just put in some signals. These aren't probably what's going to survive. We'll put in a gantry later. And ditto with these. And to finish it off, we need some tracks. And so we can do that about here. There we go. And before we know it, we now have a full station. I don't think I'm going to bother adding the ability to have these cargo trucks coming in on here. I think in this one, we'll keep it simple. They'll have two. These will have two. Never the train shall meet. And I think that's fine. Same thing goes with the passenger. I think it's fine. All right, so that looks pretty good. Some of the embankments, yeah, might give them a little bit of terraforming love. Let's keep going. So we'll go around here. Interesting that we got a tunnel. We don't need a tunnel. I'm sure we can do it. Let's get rid of this road. Actually, let's put this road back. So this one's probably... Yeah, we'll spend some time later on this. I think because of this bridge has to somehow come over, I think we'll have a whole episode on detailing this whole area, and we'll make it, look even better than it does now. We'll put more yards in and maybe some spur tracks and stuff, and that could be on this corner. But yeah, we'll do that next time or another time. The only thing I will do is, just in case it matters, is I will push this back. Whoops, that's not the key I want. And I'm going to push this in the air. And just in case we need it for intercity town reasons, we'll have that. All right, so let's continue this. As I said, I'm trying to not have a tunnel. Would you please go a bit straighter? Oh, it really wants to climb, doesn't it? Yeah, please keep... Now come round. Okay. We still have a tunnel. Oh, it's not too long. That's kind of cute. Yeah, we'll have that. I'm not a big fan of tunnels, mainly because you just can't see anything. And let's get this. Actually, we'll put the second track in first. Then we'll get the road in here. This can just be a dirt road. And you can go there, and you can go there, and you can go there. And in theory, because that was flat left and right, yeah, that should be fine. I might even leave the embankment around here. I think it might look cool to have it a little bit up and down. And then that can go there. So the question is, do we want a station here for that. Actually, we need it for... We need a passenger service, don't we? So how about we make the passenger service as it goes through here? So if we continue to come around this corner... you know what? The wheat probably can come across here on its own private train, but the barrels maybe get loaded onto a station here. Yeah, that might be a way to do it. So let's do that. And do I want crossing tracks? I think let's just push it. I think what we can do is going to do a 120. 120. Am I going to regret that? 160. And I'm going to push it. Can I push it out one? There we go. Yeah, and so we'll have cargo into there directly, and then we'll get the passengers actually to come over a little bridge, and they can board on a little side platform. Yeah, that should be good. That would be good. So let's get rid of these. And we'll make it so that not all trains have to stop. So Whiskey will have a passing in the middle, and then we'll have passenger on the outside. And passenger can be shorter. Yeah, passenger could be shorter, I think. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just have 2 of those. And passenger building can just be kind of there. And we'll give them a lid so they don't get rained on. After all, this is meant to represent England. So where's our lid? Lid. Here it is. This one. And that should do. All right. And we'll make it all attached and pretty and flat later on. And I actually am tempted just to put the road across at this height. All right, so let's get this out here. I'm going to go out square. I get a feeling we might be in a tunnel anytime soon. That can go there. That can go there. And that can go there. And we now have an interchange, and from a signal point of view, you're leaving the station. Yeah, and please, I'll change this to a gantry as well. And same to this end. We need to put some tracks on this side. And you can go there. And hopefully we can get this one to work. Yep, we can. And signals again. You're leaving a station and you are flying through, and that's it. Okay. All right, so let's continue on. I think it's probably going to be too low, but I think we may be getting into bridge or very gully territory here. Let's see what happens when we put this in, see if it collides. Yeah, so I think I'm going to tell it to build anyway, just so I'm not wasting that drag. And you know what? This is probably how it's going to get across. So rather than trying to cross here, which is very problematic, we will end up crossing on this road. Yeah, right here where it's quite steep. So for now, what I'll do is I'll just cheese this. And that can go like that, and then there we go, we end up with a bridge, and that I think will do for now, and we'll come back and do a detailing episode. Around the corner we go. I was surprised we didn't have a tunnel there, quite frankly. And this other road, yeah, I think this other road can be removed. You know what? I'm not going to let you die. You can have your own little private way down the hill. Done. Yeah, and that way we have a bus or something. You can go up that way, around, and then come back this lower way. In fact, I might even do that. Cool. probably something like that and that. There we go. All right, so let's continue on. All right, so we're gonna have to avoid this hill's getting very steep on the left hand side here. So let's try to avoid that. How are we going for the level? Actually, I never really checked the level for the whole thing. So when we get over to here, it is, okay, it's really close to where we are. Nice. Okay. So yeah, we've been keeping it level the whole time, but not for any good reason. So that was actually quite lucky that we did that. Actually, saying that though, because we have to be up a little bit, we probably could have climbed here a bit, but yeah, I like it going under there. I think it makes sense to stand there, but it does mean that around here we can climb a little bit. Let's, do I want a little tunnel? You know what? Yeah, I'm okay with that, I think. I think it's time. We don't have that many tunnels on the network, and that one's pretty small. Because the other option is just these big carvings, and that does get a little bit repetitive. So yeah, I'm willing to have a little one. If we say go to the level, right, actually that pops out of the surface. Oh, you know, I think I might just have a meandering terrain. As much as tunnels are fun, kind of, you just can't see things. I'm trying to keep away from the road. That way I've got space for terraforming. And then, yeah, it's because of all this angle stuff. And we're going to have to curve the right to go left. This is going to be a very tight corner, I think. Let's get the second one in, just so we know what it looks like. Actually, we'll start using the right-hand side. This might get carved down a little bit, I think. Oh, we still have 100, and our steam trains are not doing that. Yeah, we can probably hide that with some trees and stuff. Click the end, and oh, why don't you want to go? Okay, 50? No. You can do this. That's better. Yeah, the game can be a little bit finicky sometimes. All right, so let's come around here. We'll do a nice, ooh, a beautiful trestle. I actually like that. Let's keep it level. How close is that to road height? We're actually a little bit high. Interesting. Yeah, what I might do is pull it back to around here somewhere, and we'll come down. So what I'll do is let's work out where we want it in town. I think something like that. Is that what I want over there? It's a bit egregious. We'll go deeper, but it is roughly where we want to be, across between road and water. I think I said this when I started the series. I'm really trying to keep the essence of the map alive. I don't really want to be modifying it left, right, and center. And you know what? Do I want it up against the road? Maybe I do. Well, we actually have to turn right, don't we? The other option is to put the station over here. Look at that climb. See the ends of the platform. Yeah, we are going to have to climb a bit. Yeah, so... Oh, a fair bit, actually. Yeah. Okay, so we definitely shouldn't go down then. If anything, we should go up. Because of that... I think it looks cool to have the train just looking over the water, though. Yeah, we could have a nice little vista and see the water. I don't think it's the wisest choice, but I think it would look pretty cool. I think, though, I'm going to rotate it. Do I want to rotate it? I don't know what I want to do. One thing I do know is I think we've got a little bit too much curvature on the end there. So let's smooth that out a bit. We'll go like that. Right, let's do this. Let's just commit to it. I mean, all these houses can go. That's just a fact of life. And so that was the left track, correct? No, it was the right one. Okay. Well, we're going to relay it anyway. Ooh, sorry about the zoom there. A bit out of control. I want to be a little bit further over here. Realistically, what we want, we might want to do it now, is to represent that this is a water runoff area. So something like that. Yeah, so something like next to the tracks is like a river, and that's why this exists, I think. Yeah, I think something like that. So nice and deep in there. So something quite deep, and then yeah, we'll fill it with ferns and stuff. And yeah, I think that makes sense. And then we'll do a lot of it square. And yeah, we might have to move that station, I think. Yeah, might have to bring it back a little bit this way. And then dirt. Yeah, I think that's a better choice. Yeah, just play with it. I mean, that's the best thing. The best advice I can give you is just give it a bit of a go. Is that going to be too high? I'm trying to see what its height is versus a town. Okay, now we're way too high. Okay, what I should do, I keep umming and ahhing here, right? What I should do is give us an angle that we're aiming for here, and also that's at the level that we want. So that's the angle we want, and the height that we want. I'm looking at the staircase right there. I'm going to get it really happy and dead on, and then we'll work to it. Yeah, the angle's a bit wonky still. What happens if I just do this? Oh, it's too far in the water. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I'm just trying to get something that's a bit more natural. I suppose we can slow down. Yeah. Yeah, we do need to put a cross in this though. I think that station needs a bit of a rotation. I think we're pushing our luck trying to get it that angular. So if I put this right on the corner, I'm looking at staircase. Actually, let's upgrade the road. Let's make sure the road is what we want. Two big ones. And then we'll put it right there. Actually, we can snug it in. Yeah, this way. Yeah, that works. See. So that staircase. Oh, okay, that road went downhill. Did it? No. Been so indecisive, aren't I? Oh, so that station's down now. Okay, let's do that station again. And there. Alright. How are we now? That looks pretty good. Took probably 5 or 10 more minutes than it needed to, but we got there. How's that look? We'll do some smoothing. Okay, it's a little bit... I think it's okay. Yeah, we haven't got a station that kind of is on an angle to a town, so that's kind of cool. I like that. All right, so we're going to have a passing lane in the middle. Yeah, so it's going to be 4 tracks, and so the left track will be the outer track, and then we have to merge across. How are you with that? We're on the dirt. We're in the water flow. Okay, now we're talking, right? Because the water is kind of flash floods down here and goes through here. And I am really happy with the trestle. What I am going to do though is over here, I'm going to bump up the thing so we get rid of that texture. I want this to be more of a thing over here. This, you know, the roughness is over here, so we're going to have that very smooth as it comes in there. And then, hopefully, is that paint? It is paint. Okay, so we can undo some of that. So sometimes that orangey color is naturally formed because of the undulation, and sometimes it's because it's just been painted there. Okay, so let's pull this up. Smooth, smooth, smooth. And yeah, that road may need to get a little bit of love. Right. So now, when I put that bridge back, we should just get dirt pillars. Yes. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, the water flash floods through here. In fact, we can kind of do that right now. Rocky texture, brush size. So it kind of rushes through there. And rushes under the bridge and then comes out into the lake. Nice. And then we, in theory, should have enough space to put some points in. We can, if I can snap it correctly, put those in, and then this could be quickly modified. I'm just going to have, I assume this is going to be a passenger only station. I am going to shorten at that end. I need to take the end off, put on the passenger platform that's got a stark edge, whole lot of tracks. And this place isn't cargo related, so we could just run cargo straight through, yeah, and have passenger on either side. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. That'll work. So let's have a passenger either side. We will have one of those beautiful bridges over the top, and we'll put one, which way is the bridge going? So the stairs are towards us, so that will go that end and that end, and we'll do the same thing on this one. I don't think you can put it in the middle, can you? No, because it deletes the thing. And we'll put a nice lid on top, and done. And so that goes to there. Our points are over here. And off it goes. And you know what? I think too much curvature lies. All right, so what I think I might do is I'm just going to bring this back as far as I can. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's kind of cool because it hit that high point there. That's nice. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll get rid of this. And I think that's a bit far. What we're going to need to do is bring up that land a little bit right there. Actually, we can just do it this way. And try it again. Perfect. And smoothing down on this side. Yeah, it might be even a tiny little bridge put in under here so that the water comes. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. We'll fabricate an entire river coming down here under the train line, under a tiny little thing there. Then it will pop under here, go down this side. We'll dig this down, and maybe even expose some of that water. I don't know. But yeah, that's what we'll do. Nice. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll have a whole water effect along there. And that will look Awesome. So let's smooth this out a bit because the water's rushed along here and smoothed it out. And let's get that last track in. Hopefully you're not going to complain this time. And voila. Do I want this to be stone? No, that's boring. We'll do a trestle. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. I am quite happy with that. So, yeah, no need for crosses or anything because everybody will just come in, come out. And then we'll go off that way. Yeah, I like it. Let's just finish this off. There's no real points where I'm going, you know what? That wasn't the best idea. What I might do, just in case we've got some weird... that's not what I want. Where's the speed limit? Speed limit, speed limit. This one, the one with the numbers on it. Okay, so 92 there. Yeah, okay. That's because of the point, so that's fine. And then slow coming back on, that's the points. 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, and a little bit of a... Okay, it's the crossover, and then 96. But they're slowing down for the station anyway. And that's the crossover, crossover. So 48 one way, 52 the other. Yeah. That works. Yeah. I'm quite happy with that. To finish the episode, I have gone and found our train track car. This guy just travels around the map to the end of the lines. You can see the bumpers at the far end there. And just simulates us delivering train track and whatever else is required to build more track. While we're building this new line, we'll have to modify this guy's route so he comes and visits us every once in a while. But for now, he's down south on the Lowlands line. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of this cool Great Western Railway action. Next time, the plan is track laying and probably some detailing. And at some point, we'll also have to make a decision about whether that wheat farm is going to be directly connected to that distillery or not. We'll have to work that all out. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in Transport Fever 2.